Aloha, my beautiful and wonderful souls, and welcome to today's episode of the energy reading. We are talking about the energy for the week of March 20th until March 26th. We're going to have a new moon on March 21st, and we're going to have two portal days on 24th and 25th of March. So that's going to be energetically interesting, to put it that way. Just to start with the announcements, there is a new episode out of Soul Talk that we have from last week, where I had the wonderful Ohan with me, who talked about the energy of money and how we can, actually start using that energy for ourselves, and how you can do that in a very simple way for yourself. So if you want to go look it up, check it out. It's the last episode that was shown here on the YouTube channel and on the podcast. So now to the cards, to the reading for this week. I think I mentioned it last week already. When we have something special like the new moon or like the portal days, I always make one pile especially for that. So this pile here, for those of you not watching the video, I have one pile up on top that is especially for the new moon and for the portal day. So this is the special message from them. And then we have a second pile for the whole week on the right side, and underneath we have, as always, the three different flowers. This time we have the purple flower on the left, the rainbow flower in the middle, and the white flower on the right. So take a moment, if you like, press pause, take a moment to take a, to breathe in, breathe out, just feel into, the energy of this week, and just feel how many and which of these flowers resonate with you that will bring your personal message to you. Take a moment if you want to press pause, if you need a little bit more time, and just feel into that. As always, as I always say, sometimes it can be just one flower, sometimes it's two, sometimes it's even three. So just trust the first instinct, the first picture that you'll see, and then those are going to be your personal messages. Okay, I'm going to dive right in. We're going to start again, like I said, with the messages from the new moon and from the portal days that we're going to have. And those are up here. And they are telling us, not my monkeys. I don't know if you know that sentence, not my circus, not my monkeys. So this week is going to be, or this new moon cycle, which means when it's a new moon, that means around like the next 2 weeks, more or less, and specifically the two portal days on 24th and 25th of March that are going to guide us. So their energy is going to be supporting us, realizing, when this card comes up, not my circus, not my monkeys, to watch out. Is it something where I can maybe, pull out, because I don't need to be, to have that, what's it called? Responsibility. Because I know that as empaths, we tend to, think that we have responsibility for certain situations, and that's why we attract energy that we don't want. So just be mindful of whatever's happening in the next coming 2 weeks, whenever you're dealing with things, whenever there's something that is exhausting you too much. Be mindful of yourself, of your energy, and ask yourself, is this truly mine? Do I have to take responsibility, or am I allowed to just let it go? Like it says, not my monkeys. And from the starseed cards, we have portals. So here we go again. I think this is a very, we are talking about incredible energy shift that is coming now in this week on March 20th, March 24th. Those were very, important days astrologically. And, having a portal day on the 24th also sort of, how do you say, confirms that, right? So, and having this card come up with the portal days and the new moon is also an extra confirmation for that. So, you know, what it says here is doors are opening, you decide, reward, wild card. And I love when this comes up because it means, like I said, astrologically, we're going to have intense energies happening and coming up. So our, you know, what we can do is actually see how, you know, we are allowed to make those decisions. That's why we have the wild card. We have the decision to step through certain portals if we are ready to do that. So be mindful of that and just see whatever wants to come into your life, and maybe that's going to be the direction that you're allowed to walk through. Or maybe you're going to see that portal and going to say, not feeling it right now, and that's also okay. You know, don't pressure yourself, because you're having a wild card, so you don't have to, you know, walk through all the portals. Just follow whatever feels right for you, but be mindful of that. And then we have from the Keepers of the Light, we have Lady Portia, Divine Order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. I love this, and see, this confirms what I just said. Follow what feels right for you. An important lesson is unfolding in front of you, and I love that, because I mean, having this card that we had here, not my monkeys, is also something that shows me there is something happening, because we might even learn from whatever situation we have, and even if it is learning not to take on a responsibility that is actually not ours. So this could be something to look out for in the next, you know, sort of 2 weeks that we're going to have, or especially for the 24th and 25th. Then from the super attractor cards, we are having a wonderful affirmation. I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. Just take that in. I'm going to read it again to you. I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. And this is something that I hope and wish for everybody. So if you're not feeling it yet, use this affirmation, you know, to really find that inner quiet. And I'm not saying, you know, because we have this tendency when we go on meditations, I'm going to have to stop thinking about anything. It's not that. It's quieting that judgmental mind, or you can also call it your ego, that is sort of trying to help you and trying to protect you of things. But because of that, it's holding you back. So find that quietness of that, and to really tune into what is and what are the messages that are coming through from the universe, from your spirit guides. And like I said, this is a practice. It's something that you can practice more and more. So this is the energy that's going to be supported to help you find that in the next couple of weeks. And we have a second card. When I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. There we go. These cards are, you know, like I said, I celebrate when the cards match, and I see the cards you know, when I see them with you here recording this reading. So I don't, you know, I can't plan that before, and I love how these really fit together. So when I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. I love this. And it confirms what we had before. Once you go into your faith, right, into your faith of love, of trust into the universe, when you have faith in the guidance that you have, then the actions that you're going to take from that are not going to come from a place of lack, are not going to come from a, like it says here, from a place of control. It's going to come like an inner yearning, like an inner calling. And that's going to have a different energy than if you're trying to control the situation, right? So yeah, these are very wonderful affirmations that we're getting here. So I'm going to leave them here for you to see. So this is what's going to be supported in the next couple of weeks. Take that in for yourself if you want to write it down somewhere so that you'll get reminded over and over again. Okay, we're going to go on with the card, the general card for next week. This is basically for 20th of March until 26th, and we're going to see what we're going to get here as messages. And we're going to get started with suffering is a choice. Oh, love that. Suffering is a choice. And I'm not saying that, I don't want to say that, because we do suffer and we have pain and we have, things happening and trauma happening to us. But when this card shows up, it wants you to know that you can decide if that trauma, that suffering, that pain that you have, if you're going to allow it to spiral with you into a pit, to put it that way, or if you want to, use it so that you can heal it, you can actually work with it, make it better, transform it into something that is helpful to you, and then get out of it. So that's the choice. It's not that it wants to, put down your suffering. It wants you to know that if there is suffering in your life, if there is trauma in your life that is showing up, and it's not telling you to push it away. No, not at all. It's just telling you that you have the choice to either go down with it into that black hole, deep black hole, or you can actually use it to finally sit down, look at it, and transform it. So that's what this card is about. So look at it for next week, whatever wants to come up. And if you feel like you're suffering, if you feel like there is something hurting you, there is pain inside of you, and I always call it, it sometimes it feels like a rut, like you're in a rut somewhere. So just instead of seeing it as something bad happening to you, actually seeing the opportunity of giving healing to something. Then the next card that we have here from the Starseed cards is Karmic Relationships, Orion Energy, Polarity, Soul Growth, and Conflict. Wow. So that might come up this week if you have karmic relationships with different kinds of people. Because, overall, the March energy is very much into, letting go anything that is not in alignment with you. So this week is going to be supported. The energies are supporting for you to see the karmic relationships that you've had. And relationships can be any kind. It can be, blood family. It can be, soul family. It can be relationships at work, or it can also be love relationships with a partner. And the thing is that it's telling you to, that there might be things happening or showing up in those karmic relationships that are going to help you evolve, help you grow. It says here soul growth. So, because sometimes we have people show up in our lives that are just there for a certain time to help us grow certain elements of our soul. So this is what might be supported this week, that you might have conflict come up. So again, as we had the suffering card, look at it and don't see it as if you're losing something. Always look on the side. What are you gaining from those situations? What are you learning? What can you grow out of that? And if it's just a relationship that came up to show you something inside of you that wanted to be healed, to give that the space to heal. So allow yourself to be very mindful with whatever conflicts might show up this week for you, and to look at them as something that you can use to heal. Oh, we have a second Starseed card for this week, and we have Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. And I really love this card because I have had very wonderful and beautiful leaders, coaches, and mentors in my life, but I've also sometimes have had, and I think that this is something for all of us. We've all had, moments where we were missing a leader, where we were missing someone to guide us through certain situations. And when this card shows up, I think it's a good reminder to ourselves that in the end, of course, we're going to need the other ones to support us. And that's why I do my work as a coach as well, because I want to be there to support you and give you the space where you can grow yourself. But the thing is also, in the end, and for me as a coach as well, this is something that I learned. In the end, I can't walk the steps for you. So those are the things that you have to do for yourself. So see this, if you don't have a community around you where you're like, I'm not a leader, and then just see yourself as the leader of yourself. Where can you lead yourself to? Where have you been missing maybe a leader that you can embrace, and where can you step up to be that leader, right? So, and also that's another thing that I love: pave a new path and forge, don't follow. This is also another thing that has been, a huge thing in my life, and I believe in a lot of empaths' lives, is that because we feel like we have to hold on to something, we search for someone else to guide us and to tell us where to walk. But in the end, it's about us feeling into our own energy to feel where we really truly need to go, and where is our, where we are supposed to walk through. And this card reminds us of, taking that responsibility into ourselves to really, create the new paths for ourselves. So this is a very good reminder for this week. And then we have Cernunos, and I'm really loving this one because I think it's also the second week we're having it, but I'm not sure if we only had it last week in the personal cards. But Cernunos is life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Express your driving passion. This life force coming up, and we are coming onto the I almost said solstice, but it's not solstice. We're coming, to this time where days and nights are. I don't remember what it's called in English. I'm just forgetting. The day that is same long as the night. So we're having that next week, at least on the northern part of the hemisphere, and so this is also a very powerful portal that we're walking through, and during this week, at least for the ones of us on the northern part of the hemisphere, and I think for all of our hemisphere, because the southern ones as well. So this is a very energetic, special time that we're having, and we are stepping into that time of life where life is coming back out. Winter is over, and so this is confirming that life force coming back into our lives to create more. So look into that as well. It's a good card for us to know that there's energetic support. And then we have from the affirmation, from the super attractor cards: each time I choose to tune into spirit guidance at the highest truth shows up for me. Each time I choose to tune into spirit guidance of the highest truth shows up for me. Here we go. I feel that this card especially helps and supports the energy that we're going to get from the new moon, from the portal days, and it just rounds it up very perfectly and very beautifully. So, just remind yourself for the next week to tune into your higher guidance. It's going to be, the more you learn to tune into that energy, the more you're going to be able to, bring more flow into your life. And, with everything happening here that we were talking about earlier with the karmic relationships, and for you to walk that new path, if the guidance that you need is inside of you when you listen to your spirit guides. I love that very much. Perfect. So these are the cards that we're going to have for this week, and that are going to support our energy. Love it. Okay, now we're going to get started with the personal cards. So if you chose, and if you resonated with the purple flower, these are going to be your messages or your cards. And we're going to get started with Mind Proof. Ooh, oh, we haven't had that card in a while. The little cards that I'm using here, just by the way, these are cards that were created with a technique that my Hawaiian teacher taught me. And I've had them for now, wow, almost over 4 years. That they have been guiding me every now and then, and are part of myself. And that's why today they called me to use for this weekend. So Mind Proof for you for this week. Mind Proof. Why this card is called that way is because sometimes, and this is something that blew my mind when I was back on Hawaii with my teacher, when she told me, our mind sometimes wants to tell us something and wants to say, but I am right, even though your mind is not right. Your mind is trying to play tricks. And I'm not saying that your mind is doing that out of, a bad energy. It's just, it's trying to support you. It's trying to help you. It's trying to keep you safe. And that's why it has created certain realities for itself and thinks that those are true. And so it's trying to tell you, but that's true. And if you really think about it, if you really look at the proofs around it, it's your mind trying to tell you something. So this could also be, if we're talking about the ego inside of us, this could be your ego trying to tell you something. And basically the universe, the spirit's telling you, check it out. Really look at the confirmations, at the proofs you have. Do you have anything that proves that that sentence is right? And just to give you an example, sometimes we feel, because we feel energy, sometimes we feel like, oh, that person doesn't like me. And this is actually a true story that has happened several times for me, that at first I would, when I meet someone, I would go like, oh, I think that person doesn't like me. That's what my mind is trying to tell me. But when I go and try to prove it and, go and ask about it, I find out that that person actually was thinking the same thing about me. So that person thought that I didn't like them. So that's the energy that I was feeling. But my mind, of course, was interpreting that energy as that. So that's what I mean by our mind telling us things sometimes that are not actually true. And that's why it's always, as empaths, it's always very important to look at our own filters when we talk about things. So that's going to be something important for you to watch out for this week. So look out for the proofs. Ask yourself always, is that a proven thing? Like, has this person really said that they don't like me, for example, right? If we're sticking to that example. Then we have activated earth. Wow. Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. I love this. Trust where you are led. So if you have never heard of ley lines, go Google it. There's a huge, net of ley lines all around the globe of energetic places. If I think people have looked at it, places like Stonehenge or the pyramids, they're all connected with those lines. They have always been there. So that's something that is out there if you want to look at that. And if you have some ley line places around you, it's always beautiful to go there and to look at them and to go and get a feeling for them, and maybe even get, strengthen yourself, recharge yourself on those places. But sometimes we don't have the possibility to do so. And what I feel is the main message of this card is trust where you're led. And this doesn't only, of course, at first we always feel, okay, if something's telling me trust where you're led, it's about a place. But it can also be about a direction, an emotion where we are led. Maybe you're meeting some new people. Maybe you are, feeling the need to go to a special place, and suddenly you actually meet another person that inspires you, right? So trust the guidance that you have, trust where you are being led. I love this very much. And then we have here, what we have here is Gaia, Earth connection. And I find that interesting coming after the ley lines, the power places. So be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. So if you can, and I love this picture for those of you only listening in, we have a beautiful woman holding the Earth. So this is like Mother Gaia holding the Earth. Basically, when we look at the energy of Gaia, it's basically the Earth. So this is like Mother Earth. And so be connected to Mother Earth, be grounded. So do whatever, watch out this week for whatever you do, try to be as grounded as possible, because if you can, always go out and walk in nature. That's like one of the best things you can do as an empath, is always go outside and walk, be in nature, go, take a walk somewhere. If you're living in a city, find a park. It doesn't have to be too big. It doesn't have to, as long as there's nature. If you have plants in your house, maybe, start communicating with them inside of your house. That's also something that can help you and keep you grounded. I remember when I was living in the city, I remember friends saying this is like a little jungle when they would come to my house, because I had a lot of plants. So be mindful of that and of that energy, and find grounding throughout the week. Then we have, for the affirmations, in stillness I receive. I love this card because, again, in stillness I receive. Find your own inner stillness. Like I said earlier, because, for you, this is a double confirmation that we have before. in the first, and I think it was with the cards, with the new moon and portal day cards. So in stillness, I receive, if possible, meditate for yourself, connect with your guidance. And in stillness, again, this is not telling you not to think about anything, because I know that's sometimes hard, especially in our time, in our day to day. And as empaths, I feel sometimes we're so overloaded with everybody else's energies that not thinking, getting your mind still is very hard. But if you can try to go past the thoughts of your ego, of your mind, like we said here with the mind proof, your mind trying to tell you stories. And this is basically, focusing on just letting those thoughts pass by until you find that stillness behind the thoughts, right? I hope I explained that good. If not, just, leave me a comment. Okay, here we go. So these were your personal messages if the purple flower was yours. And now we're moving on to the rainbow colored flower. So if that resonated with you, we have here win or lesson. Wow, for you, that's a beautiful card, because it tells you whatever situations we have, however negative or bad they were, there's always something, positive that you can learn from them. And again, like I said earlier, with the suffering is a choice card, this is not to diminish or, to make it smaller, make the trauma smaller. I'm not saying that. It's very important to look at it and to be mindful of those things. But the thing for ourselves is, if we want to move forward, we have to, we always have this situation. Is either I see it as something negative and I go with it down the rabbit hole, I think it's called, or I see it as a lesson that was there, as a wonderful lesson that has taught me something. And to tell you the truth, in my years of transforming things for myself, there have been situations where I was like, I really don't know what this is trying to teach me, but apparently, I have to go through it. So I trust that the universe is making this happen for a reason. And once you focus, you ask spiritual guidance to help you see the lesson within that, you are going to see it. So this is shifting the energy from from the negative feelings, from, oh my God, this is so bad, from, coming out of the energy of, what's it called again? Hold on. My English today. Hold on. Victim, the energy of victim. Instead of being in that energy of victim of a situation, empower yourself and say, okay, so this situation is not beautiful, it's not wonderful, but I can decide if I make this, see this as a lesson. And I want to see the lesson within this and learn so that I don't create another situation like this again. Right? So this card is telling you to be mindful, because this week might be, you might have wonderful moments that are the wins. Those are the ones we love. Or that might actually be a lesson, like I said, or like we know, the energy, the universe always reflects our own energy inside of us. So sometimes when we are in a negative situation, it's very important, of course, to see what the universe is trying to teach us, what the universe is showing us, and what is the part that the role that we played in that situation, right? And this is, this is going to, I know this is a bigger thing. I probably have to make its own podcast episode for this. But yeah, I hope you understand what I mean. If not, just, leave me a comment and I'll try to explain it or create a new video for this. But yeah, I hope I got the message over there. And then we have for you, I remember, soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. And I love this so much, because we do have a soul that wants to create something, wants to express itself in this plane, and that's why we incarnated into this body here. And so this is about remembering, not just, I don't know why this is coming up, but, not letting life live you, and, just following the fate but actually stepping into your destiny, what your soul really wants you to do. So what your soul wants you to learn. And here we go again with the win or lessons. So whatever is not working out, whatever is not happening the way you want to, watch out for the learnings that there are, because it's your soul telling you to maybe walk into a different direction, right? Very beautiful. And then we have, ooh, Brigitte, inner strength. Move back to the wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. Thank you, Brigitte, for giving us this message. So for you, if you have, if the rainbow flower was yours, look into that. Look for this week, really look into your inner strength. Be sure that you have an inner strength. You have that power inside of you for whatever you want to do. So try to connect. Like for you, this is like a very huge deal for this week. Try to connect as much as possible with your soul's essence. So if, find ways to connect with you, what is your essence out there and what that wants to tell you. And then we have the Shekinah, sacred self. Here we go, double self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythms of life. I love this. So for you, it's connecting to that energy so that you can bring out your spirit energy, so that you can bring, like it says here, unleash your spirit, so that you can do that and express all the beautiful gifts that you brought into this world. And if you're listening into here, it's probably because your empathetic gift wants to come out, wants to be shown, in some sort of way. And then we have, as a final affirmation here, I choose to be a super attractor and have unwavering faith in the universe. I'm going to read it again. I choose to be a super attractor and have unwavering faith in the universe. Right? That's just wow. So this is what's happening here. Winner lesson. Once you start seeing all the situations around you that, at first felt negative and were pulling you into that, into those negative deep holes and maybe even rock bottoms, they're actually helping you learn and transform. And once you start transforming that, you become that magical super attractor. And I love that, because I believe everybody is, has the capability to do so. So this is wonderful for you this week. Look out for where your energy's at. You're attracting wonderful things. Perfect. So here we go for you. And if the white flower was yours, we're going to look into that here. And we have trust. Oh, trust. Just let go and trust. Trust the universe. Trust your guidance. Just trust. Trust in yourself. Trust what your inner self, what your intuition is telling you. See? Nothing more to say. Just trust. I love trust. Here we go. I actually, just to give you a little anecdote, I actually had one full year. I always try to give every year in my life a title, and I actually did that for 2 years in a row, that my year had the title Trust, because I wanted to learn more to really trust what the universe wants to do with me and the guidance. And it was just amazing. So I can just go for it. This week, trust. It's a beautiful practice. And starbathing, light body, crystal grid, transmissions, activations. Wow. See, trust in whatever's coming up. You are receiving activations. You are receiving transmissions from your higher guidance. Trust whatever's coming in that wants to go through and wants to express itself through you. Beautiful. Here we have Isis, magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused, my dear. Stay focused. See, I mean, there's nothing more to say. Magic manifesting is happening. Just let that guidance that you're going to receive, let that go through you and create the magic, to create your dreams. So look out for your dreams. Whatever you envision this week is going to be supported. So you should, really look into what is your vision? What do you want to create? And I'm saying that because we have the tendency to sometimes ignore what we actually want to create, because I mean, this is something, you know, in the mornings I write down what I want to create, and at night before I go to bed I write down what I want to create. But during the day I'm completely in the energy of lack. That's not going to take you anywhere. That's really not going to take you anywhere, because the main part of the day you are in the energy of lack, right? So try to, as often as possible, go into that energy of what you want to create. Love this. And as the last and final card for you, when I connect to the spiritual realm, I open the door to receive divine guidance, clear direction, and great wisdom. Look at this beautiful card. So I'm going to repeat it again. When I connect to the spiritual realm, I open the door to receive divine guidance, clear direction, and great wisdom. There it is. I mean, I don't have to say anything more. I think this card fits well to everything I just said for you. So wow, follow that. I would say that this week's main guidance basically for this week, for these wonderful portal days that we're having for the new moon, is reconnect and trust into the energy that is coming up. So for us to, you know, be there for that. So wow, wonderful. Wonderful, my dear beautiful people. I hope that you enjoyed these the reading for this week. I hope it's going to help you for this week with whatever challenges might come up. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to you next week as always. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment. If you like the reading, please, you know, leave me a good review, or tell your friends that might need that support of these wonderful cards for themselves, so that they can, you know, work with the energies in a better way. Until then, until always, sending you a big hug, and please keep on surfing your energy wave. Bye.